just now leaving a poker game, like 4, and we was talking about. Well, first I'm talking to Instagram Live because no one really talked to. But anyways, we were talking about doing right, and when you're not doing right, you're doing what you don't want to be. I don't want to say wrong, but you're doing what you don't want to be doing, and you're still doing it. I understand it's hard, but once enough time goes by and you're still doing it, that's when you know that you're not wise at all and you're a fool. Like, when you were wise, then not only do you know what you need to be doing, but you actually do it. That's being wise. That's, if you know what you need to be doing, you're still not doing it, and enough time went by where you pretty much are accepting that you can't, you're a fool. And I think not the best, but what helps is you tell yourself, I'm a fool. Are you? Probably not. Or how about this? If you got kids, imagine your kids saying, you know what, Dad, I'm a fool. I can't get over whatever, I'm a fool. You gonna accept that from your kids? Or how about if you're a believer and you're saying that you can't get over whatever, I'm gonna just accept the way things are. And you're telling God that I'm a fool, don't worry, I'm just saying, well, I am who I am. Or how about if you accept it, you're telling God that He can't fix it, that He can't handle it. I just feel like whatever you're going through, you can get over that joint, and can't be a fool, especially when you know you're not, like when you want to anyway. I'm not trying to tell nobody what they gotta do, but if you don't want to, whatever it is, man, don't give up on that. And so we were talking about that, and then also the whole helping people. We're talking about that too. And I didn't get to tell a lot of things a little early, but when you help somebody, this is what I just learned. If you help someone, and this is in the Bible, I read somewhere and I thought about it and why it made sense to me. I'm not exactly sure where in the Bible, but when you help somebody and you're helping them, but you're not really positive about it. You're kind of negative about it because you're helping them because you kind of have, quote unquote, have to, for whatever reason, your parents or husband and wife or boss or whatever. So you're helping them, but you're doing it in a negative way. Then you're really not helping them at all. Because what happens is now you're being negative about it. You're being grumpy, you're complaining, whatever. You're still doing it, but you're being, whatever about it. Now, that attitude wasn't there before you started doing it. So now there's tension. Now you guys are upset at each other. Now you guys are kind of mad. Now you guys are kind of yelling at you. Now all these extra negative things that weren't there before are there now, just because you're not positive about the joint. So if you're gonna help, you gotta just help and be positive about it, even if you don't agree with it, because otherwise, just don't help at all. What I learned too is that if you're helping them and you're not positive about it, and you don't get the task done too, so now you don't get the task done, and you brought in all these extra things that was never even there, and nothing happened but got worse. You think you're helping, but you're not. If you can't help somebody and be optimistic and positive about it, then just don't help them at all, man. It's too risky. Things get worse, like, dramatically. What else? There was one more. So another thing too is when you're helping somebody is you can't there's no reason to even explain. Once you know the kind of person they are, there's no reason to even explain. And once you already did, you can't keep explaining the same thing over again, because everybody's different. Everybody sees things differently, and it'll just never get through to them. And you can't be mad because you're not supposed to be the one telling them. That's all. They got to hear from somebody else, unfortunately. Somebody can say the exact same thing, but for some reason, that's God. It's not our way. Like, they're not supposed to hear it from us, and there's a reason for everything. So they hear the exact same thing from somebody else, and then they listen to that, and we can't be mad. You can't be mad at it. You gotta. Well, I know me. I gotta understand that it doesn't matter. Like, you can't be mad at it. everybody's different. Everybody takes things differently from different people, like the relationship or who they are or just the timing or whatever. Can't be mad. So you tell them if you want to help somebody, if you want to help somebody, you tell them, and you don't agree with the way what they want you to do. You tell them what you think one time, and then they tell you they want this. You gotta help them the way that they asked you to help them. Because what happens is you help them, and then you think, oh yeah, you're doing a good job. You help them the way you think you need to help them, and they're not appreciative. You know why they're not appreciative? Because they never wanted the help for real. It sounded good when you told them I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they're like, all right, cool, thank you, oh my gosh, thank you. But really, they never asked for that. You wanted that for them, so they're not gonna be appreciative. And then you're gonna think that, Dad, I can't believe they're not appreciative, and whatever. And then they're thinking like, man, I can't believe he wants me to, or he or she is like thinking they did a good, they helped me out a whole lot, but really they didn't, and I really wanted this done. It's like when you help somebody, you can give you a suggestion, but then you gotta ask them, how do you want me to help you? And boom, whatever they say, you gotta do it, or just don't do it at all. You know what I mean? Because if you help them the way that they want you to help them, man, they're gonna be so appreciative. And even though, like, let's just say a task, or whatever, even if the way that you're thinking is like makes more sense, is a lot faster, it doesn't matter, because the process is gonna be, if that person doesn't agree, the process is gonna be like a negative, atmosphere. Like, we're not supposed to be living like that. So it's a negative atmosphere. It got done quick, but for what? That's why the process matters so much. If you do it, if you know whatever is wrong, not wrong, but different, and it could take a whole lot longer, then take a whole lot longer. If it makes everybody happy and everything is cool, you get to the same destination, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how quick something takes, how long something takes. All that matters is that you get there and it's done. And if you want to get there and be mean about it and argue about it and be disagreeing with everything all the time, or do you want to get there in a good mood? You guys are all right, y'all able to communicate, y'all able to talk and all that. You're gonna get there anyway, so who cares how long it takes? I don't know. It's like the process means so much, and you can't expect nobody to see things your way too. Also, another thing is because we all just see things differently. My friend told me, Jake said, the whole turtle and the giraffe thing. So a giraffe, just, by nature, got a different view on everything. You know what I mean? The turtle, down low, they got a different view on everything. So it'll be stupid for the giraffe to tell the turtle, no, you got to see the bigger picture. You got to see it this way. And it's vice versa. Nothing wrong with the turtle. If the turtle tells the giraffe, but you gotta pay attention to detail. You gotta get down, you gotta get down and dirty. You have to get, do this and do that. And the giraffe's like, no, I don't. I'm walking over what you're doing. Like, they just don't see things the same way. They never will, because they have a different view. They're just not made that way. And matter of fact, what he said was, if they try, they can't see that way, because if they try to see that way, they'll, like, I don't know, get hurt. I don't know about die, but so if a giraffe tries to put his head down and start walking to see things the way the turtle sees things, it's gonna run into things. The blood pressure will run to the giraffe's head, and it just I don't know what the consequence is. But blood pressure to the giraffe's head, he can't do it. He got to go back up. And the turtle, stick his neck out. You can't go but so high. Like, you just can't. So you can't expect somebody to see you. No matter how good you explain it to them. If they don't see it, they don't see it. It's time to move on. And if you want to help them the way they want to be helped. As long as they get there. Another thing with the whole helping and changing people's minds, which doesn't make any sense, especially when you're talking to somebody passionate. You're talking to somebody passionate about whatever subject, don't matter what it is, faith, common sense stuff, and washing dishes. It doesn't even matter. Like any subject, but you know this person's really passionate about it. You think that they have their own beliefs. You think in one conversation you're gonna change that person's beliefs? They're passionate about it. They care a lot about it, and then you get frustrated that you didn't change your mind. It's like going to I don't know, like a Muslim or whatever, a different religion person, and you tell them, you should, it's this way, and then at the end of your 30-minute conversation, they're still believing their way. You can get mad at them, like, oh my gosh, you're the worst. You don't believe in in Christianity or whatever. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? That's their beliefs. It can take more than one conversation. It's not just religion. It's not just faith. It's everything. If somebody's strongly passionate about something, and you have a little conversation and you get upset that they don't agree with you, then, which I have done, like, that's not stupid. It's, why would someone really passionate about one thing, and I'm trying to convince them in one night? It's not gonna happen, and you can't even have that. You gotta know that's not gonna happen. Don't even try that. Like, it's a process, and that's why I believe that in any relationship, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, boss, daughter, father, like friend, best friend, whatever, it don't matter. You got to figure out early on the type of person, what they believe in, their core, their values, and all that. Once you know that, then that's where they at. And when something happens, you got to remember that's who they are. Now, if you don't know who they are, you never found out, and then things happened along the way, it's gonna be rough because you're expecting a certain thing. You never knew who they were to begin with, or you knew but you didn't understand. Like, you didn't know how to approach it. You think you can change it, but you don't know that they're really passionate about, or they're really strong in one way. And early on in any kind of relationship, you don't have to, but I think early on in a relationship, you gotta not figure out like it's a game, but you have to know what you're dealing with. You have to, or things will just keep coming up, and you won't know what's going on. Like, why is these things coming up? You won't know. What else are we talking about? I don't know. It's funny because I'm thinking all these things while we're talking, but I ain't gonna say it because there's a lot in people talking. We don't want to interrupt nobody, but what else they say? Oh yeah, so my man talking about getting money, and it makes more sense this way. You gotta do it this way. Why wouldn't I go here, or why wouldn't I do that? And I didn't say anything. I'm not trying to disrespect them, and that's not like I said, people, they're not gonna take it from certain people a certain way. We're not really too cool for me to be. I noticed that I sometimes put people down, which I don't mean to. I'm a passionate person. If I hear that, I want to make you, convince you it's this way, because I'm, you know what I mean? But no, you can't, man. So I bit my tongue. He's saying it's this way, it's that way, but I'm thinking, no, you can't think of. If you want to be financially successful, which I hate talking about money, but if you want to make a lot of money, what you gotta do is not think about money. You can't think about money. I was talking to my cousin earlier, and what you got to do is, not what you got to do, what worked for me was, you got to figure out what works, figure out what doesn't work, and then you got to figure out if it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So if you figure out what works, it makes money, all right, cool. Now, is it the right thing to do? It's not. I wouldn't. That option didn't work. All right, so now you figure out what is the right thing to do, but it doesn't really work. It's not successful. It's not, where you want to be. Then that doesn't work. You got to have you got to do the right thing, and it got to be, it works. It got to be both. Or you got the wrong plan, and you're forcing it because you care so much of the right thing, or you care so much about the money. And if you're thinking about, I think if you want to make a lot of money, you can't have a monetary goal. You can't be like, I want to make $1 million, I want to make 100,000. You can't even think about it. Because what's going to happen is, along the way, you're thinking about the money now. The money is now influencing your decisions. You can make the wrong decision because you get the money right away. When, if you make the right decision, not think about the money, it might take a little longer, but you're going to bypass that quick decision in the long run. In a couple of years, you're like 3, 4, 5 times ahead of that person because you're making the right decisions. It's not about the money. If you think too much, I'm going to make 100,000, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to make this. Why? For saying that you're going to make that, what's that going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's the steps to get there. So just think about the right steps to get the right thing to do, and it will make the money. People make money because they're doing the right things. They're not making money because I thought about, I want to make a lot of money. You're doing the right things. You're doing what works, you know what doesn't work, and you want to make sure it's right. So once you figure that out, and then this is, for, if you're a believer and you believe in, God and, whatever, and you pray about it, and he gives you conviction about it, and you already know it works, and he gives you confirmation, man, you got to go. What else do you need? You got God on your side too? Man, you got, and what I've learned too is, I don't know if you're listening, who's watching, I can't see, but if he on your side, it's going to be, if he gives you conviction, and you already, and you feel good about it, you just know it's a wrap. It's over. There's gonna be no speed bumps. Straight path, like just go. No one in your lane. You just going. Everything will go so smoothly. Like, it'll be unbelievably smooth. Everything will go right. Everything be so cool. It's because that's God's word. It can't not go cool. If He gonna say, I need you to do this, and you do that, it's gonna go just like how you want. It's gonna be smooth. It's not gonna be hard. Now the problem is life. We humans. We're gonna alter whatever He tells us to do. You alter just a little bit, it's a wrap. It's gonna start. Man, the littlest opening is, man. Evil gets in there, boom, it's a big opening. Now you don't even know where you started from. Now you're in a whole different approach, you're in a whole different mindset, you're in a whole different crew, you're in a whole different everything. Because you didn't do what He told you to do to the T. You already knew what you're supposed to do. And then we mess up. Or just like what I'm saying, it comes to a point, why'd you know what to do? But now we're just a fool because we know what to do and we're not doing it. I mean, things are hard, but it comes to a point when enough time done went by, you done thought about all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing whatever. And if you still do it, you a fool. And you're telling your kids that it's okay for them to say they're a fool. You're telling God it's okay, I'm a fool, don't worry about me. And you're telling them that you can't fix this. I mean, come on, man. It's just, I don't know who listening. I hope nobody listening. Rambling over here. I just don't have nobody to talk to, and I just be thinking about so much of things I've learned, man. I kind of just want to share, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah. What else, man? What else I be thinking about a lot? Oh yeah, I don't know. All right, so some know I'm doing like this little bit Airbnb thing, right? And when I say you gotta do with what works, we gotta find out what works and make sure it's right and it's not wrong. You know what I mean? In that, you can't be stuck in your ways, yo. You cannot. Like, you want to get more, do more, change this, but you're doing the same thing just because it's your field and you're an expert. What makes you the expert? You're not where other people are. So figure out what works. Humble yourself. So the whole my man, he doesn't have Instagram. So my man does real estate. Been doing that job for 30 years. And at one point selling millions a month, whatever. But now the game changed, a little different. But he's not adjusting to the game because he's so stuck in his ways. He's worried, everybody. I'm gonna take Airbnb for example. I'm not saying I'm not making a rack of money, but it makes sense. You could at least try. All right. So what I'm saying is, they say, all right, what's the excuses? They're gonna mess up your house. You shouldn't do it. Only there for a day, whatever. And they're not gonna care about it. All right. But what the truth is just like Uber. You give them a rating, the driver, but the driver gives you a rating too. We don't want to get no bad ratings. So just like the Airbnb guests, they go to your house, and what do? They want a good rating. They're not gonna mess that joint up. And if they want the stars too, so people accept them. So what was I saying? The 3 times that we had it, Airbnb. When they left, when I came inside the house, man, it looked like nobody ever went inside the house. Like, forget about damages, man. It looked like they cleaned the house. It looked like they took a picture and just made sure everything was exactly the way it was. I mean, every time. And there's a reason, like I said, they want to keep on renting. They don't want to mess it up. And if you think about it, you get somebody the conventional, traditional way. They're there for a year or two, whatever. And this happened today. My man was complaining to me about it. The traditional way, they're having parties, they're comfortable now, they mess up now, they're there now, they live there now, they got their things there, they're moving stuff. If someone's only there for a day or two, they know they're not gonna mess that thing up. They know they're about to leave. They're not gonna put all their furniture in there and rearrange things. That's not gonna happen. So it's less likely. And then it's like, I don't know, they can still mess up. All right, well, guess what? Airbnb got $1 million insurance for everybody that hosts. So now what? Still don't do it. Just everything's answered, but they still don't do it. Stuck in their ways. Doesn't make any sense. Well, not everybody. A lot of people that I know, almost everybody I know, has either Airbnb before or know someone that does. We all know about it. A lot of us have done it. A lot of us have been there. We looked into it. We go on the website, whatever, right? So if everyone we know is doing it, and we're all doing it as a customer, what makes you think you shouldn't host the joint? I mean, it's common sense. Host it. At least try. And that's what kills me. When everybody gives excuses of why not to even try. It doesn't even hurt to try. It doesn't hurt at all. It didn't cost anything. You cleaned up your house. So now you got a clean house. And that's the consequence. You got a clean house for nothing. I mean, that's the consequence? Because you don't want to try? It doesn't cost anything. It's like, man, I don't know. It's stuck in your ways, trying to convince people and letting people convince you that it's wrong or right. It's just kind of big to me right now. I wish I personally wasn't trying to convince all the time. You know what I mean? The code, man, it all comes down to, like what I was telling whatever friend. It's communication, man. It's like you're always trying to convince somebody, but you shouldn't be. Communication. What you think is important, they think something else is important, and now you guys are mad at each other because you help this way and they seem ungrateful. It's because they don't think that's important. To them, it's not really as important. Communication. Almost everything boils down to communication. How you receive things from people, how you tell people things, understanding how they're taking it. Like, it's just, you can't be, this person gotta be this way. They gotta think. That's just like when people have kids. When young adults have will see kids that are quote unquote bad kids, right? They see these kids and they're like, man, that's a bad kid. My kid ain't gonna be like that. My kid ain't gonna be like that. My kid gonna play ball. Your kid gonna play ball. You Jesus? You gonna make a kid? You gonna make them do what you want them to do? Man, everybody's different. They grow up the same. They grow up differently, and you can't treat them. You can't treat them the same way. Like, I used to spank J-Rail. I can't respect K-Ron. He's different, so I learned how to talk to him and how it's different with him. And then I learned I don't gotta do it with Gerald either. If I could do that with him, everybody, there's different ways and there's different approaches and different strategies and tactics to everything in life. So to be stuck in one way and say, you know what, this one way's not really working, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna keep on trying this way that's not working, and eventually it's just gonna work. And we're not gonna change nothing about it. It's just gonna work eventually. I mean, that's just that doesn't make any sense. Not only does it make any sense, rambling and shit. Not only does it make any sense, but now you're not growing. Because you're trying to make sure that my 5-year-old mindset works when I'm 30. Because I'm not going to change. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to understand what works, what doesn't work. You're supposed to understand, like in poker, we say every hand is situational. You can't say, I got pocket aces, what should I have done? It's not like that. What did the player had this, but they had this hand. It doesn't matter. Every hand is situational. How did the player perceive you? How did you perceive them? Were they a bluffer? What they look like? What is this? How fast did they act? Like, it doesn't matter what you have and what they have. So many things goes into it. No two hands are the same. Same shit in life. No two people are the same. But we're trying to do the same strategy, same thing that worked for us with other people. Like, that doesn't work for them. You gotta understand communication at the end of the day. And I think since you can't convince nobody, so what do? They're just not gonna be. You gotta, this is just me. You gotta seek, like, guidance. For me, guidance is, God. It's Jesus. Listen to the word. Listen to sermons. Try to stay positive, and then eventually ask Him to take care of it. Don't ask Him to get you away from it. Ask Him to get rid of it. And that was big for me. And you do that. What happens is that, in my opinion, is that you get a different perspective. So it's not okay, this made sense, I'm gonna do it this way now. It's not really about making sense anymore. Some things are so deep and so rooted in you. It's not about making sense. It's not about convincing. It's about a different perspective on just life, just a different mindset. You're a different person. You're broken down because whatever's not working, it's not working. You regroup, boom, different person. And another thing, you can be born again and again and again. You know what I mean? Like, just because you think that you're not who you were, I'm this way now, I'm good. Nah, you might be good, but no one's perfect. Boom, breaks you down again, get better. Boom, get better. Boom, get better. Can't be stuck in your ways. You gotta understand whatever's not working, it's not working. You need it. It might come down to you need a different perspective. It's not strategy anymore. It's not do right. It's not what works, what doesn't work, do right. Boom, it works. Nah, some things are just so strong that you gotta ask for Him, and you gotta have a different perspective on it. Or you want to do it your way and you won't even ask for that. You know what I mean? I can't remember. What else? What are we talking about? So my cousin, she's saying, what I told her was, I'm not saying I'm not saying who it was. So anyway, this cousin was saying that she was kind of depressed, getting over it, whatever, right? And I was there, so whatever. We all get sad. I think that the best way to pray, you know what I mean? If you don't know the direction that you're going, or your calling, or your, you know, whatever, like, what am I doing, and like, what's going on? I personally think that the best way to pray about that, which what I did, we like to talk about, but the best way to pray about it is not, God, I want to play ball, or I want to make money, help me in my job, or what's my calling? But you're a dancer, so you're saying what's my calling? But you really want to make the audition. You want God to help you in what you're doing. You know what I mean? When I think, in my personal opinion, I think the prayer should be, you know, what's my calling? What should I do? I don't care what it is. I don't care if I'm not good at it. I don't care if I don't like it. I don't care if it don't make no money. I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life, God. Man, you pray that. Don't pray what your human flesh wants. Don't pray what you think you want. It's a calling. Like I tweeted somebody. What do you say? He said, "What's my calling?" Right? Or what is my calling? Your calling can't be what you think it is. It's a calling because someone called you to it. If you asking for guidance on a calling that is this one or that one, that's not a calling. That's a decision. If you're saying, God, should I do this or this, which is my calling, then you're asking for a decision. You're not asking for a calling. If it's a calling, means He called you to it. Someone called you to it, which means it's not you. It's someone else. What do they want you to do? That's a calling. And it don't matter what it is. You asking for it, and He give it to you. Gotta do, man. You praying for it. So what I told my cousin, this is one prayer I was doing for years, right? When I was younger, I would pray to God because I've done a lot of things, but I used to always be jealous of people that were passionate about what they knew what they wanted to do, was passionate about it, and they knew why they were here on earth, and dancers and singers and whatever. A lot they know what they're here for. That's why they're here. I used to be so like, man, I wish I knew why I was here. It didn't matter, and I kind of, I ain't rich, but I made some money, but it didn't matter to me. I would go to the game, I've dealt poker, like a lot of people know. I know I'm about to make $1,000 a night before the casinos. I'm about, and I'm on the way to the game praying to God. I don't care about this game. I don't want to do it. It's not my passion. I know that's not why I'm here on earth for. Why am I here? Don't matter. Whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna do it, man. I don't care if I don't like it. Like, it doesn't matter, man. That's the prayer. And what I didn't know was this. That was my prayer for years. What I did not know was so one day I felt like, years go by, I felt like He told me what it was, right? But then I thought about it just, I don't know, like less than a month ago. He actually been answering my prayers since day one. I've been praying that for years, right? So what happened was, I don't understand, like, God, what am I supposed to do? I've had like 35 jobs. I've done so many things. I've made bread, but it doesn't matter. I don't care about none of this. What am I here for? I know it's not what I'm here for, right? Praying, not knowing that every time I prayed that, He said, all right, you want to do what I want you to do? Then you can go from job to job to job to job to job to job, and you're gonna learn from every single one of these jobs. You keep praying for it. You're gonna keep quitting because you got what you got out of this job, and you can go to another one. You got with this business, you start up this, you go to another one. You learn from this place, you learn from these people, you go to another one. On every single thing, I'm learning what works and what doesn't work. And I didn't know that. I'm praying to God, man, what am I supposed to be doing? Whatever you want me to do, man, let me do it. Boom, He was answering my prayers since day one. He was getting me ready for it. I'm going from job to job. I'm meeting people to people, all types of people. I don't really read books. I never went to business school, but those are my resources. I don't know the business terms, but I know what I tell her. And people might not even believe this, but so with the whole thing I was doing, I made a business plan. Called my sister. I was like, this is pretty big. I said, I made a business plan. I'm gonna send it to you. Can you look at it? But don't laugh at me. I've never done it before. Never went to school for it. Whatever, right? And she goes, okay, you know what? Can you just Google it first and see, just to make sure before you send it to me? I'm like, all right, I'll Google it, whatever. Hang up. I go on Google. Man, it's the exact same, damn near to the T in order of what I put down. like 99%. The only difference was I did a 2-year plan, and then that thing said that we should do a 5-year plan. But then later on, like a couple months go by, and I'm watching other shit. That's all I do. And they say doing a 5-year plan is not even what you're supposed to do nowadays. It's supposed to be like a 2-year plan because the times change all the time. People evolve. It's a different world we live in. So I pretty much did exact 100% the structurally wise, what from what I was doing. Another thing I found out: every business plan is different. Every subject is totally different. But what I was doing was the exact same thing of what I was supposed to be, how it's supposed to look. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like when you have faith, and you're praying for a calling. You're praying, what's my purpose? And I guess a lot of people that around my age is probably trying to wonder, man, am I even supposed to be doing this? What am I supposed to be doing, God? Don't ask Him and have a thing in your mind of what you want to be doing, because then you're really saying, I want this. That's what you're really telling Him. Now, do you wholeheartedly, with everything in you, want to do what He wants you to do? Then you got to tell Him that, though. You can't just say, He knows what I mean. Man, you got to let Him know. I don't care about none of this. Whatever you want me to do it. And then when He tells you, oh my gosh, you got to do it. And that's there's actually a sermon that I was watching. What's her name? Stephanie. I don't know pronounce her name, but when He gives you a word and you follow it, it can't fail. He gave you the word, right? But not only can it fail, it's gonna be so easy. Everything's gonna be just like, how is this happening? How did I make a business plan like that? I've never done it before. How is the first 3 people asked for 30 racks said, okay, here's 30 racks. How is this happening? I got bad credit? How did he get a spot? How did I know this poker guy? I didn't know he does this. And just like that, the first place to look at, that's the spot. Everything was falling in line so easily. But the moment you break off of what He told you to do, just like I said earlier, it's a wrap. It's not a wrap, but if you're not aware that you're off, and you're saying, and you're still continuing to go the path that He didn't give you in your in your heart, in your vision, and you're going that way, I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? We're doing what we want to do in our calling in life. I'm gonna make a decision on what I'm gonna do. Not, God, what's your calling for me? That's your calling. I'm gonna do what you say. Now you made a decision. That's not God no more. That's not, in my opinion, that's not His way. That's not what He wanted for you. You're doing what you want for yourself, and we don't know what we want for ourselves. We're influenced by everything in this world. So I mean, depending on what you're looking for, I know I personally don't, because this world. I think this world as a whole, it's money generated. It's just money. Like, you can't smoke weed, but no one really dies from weed, and they die like shit from alcohol. But we're selling alcohol out the ass. Like, nothing makes sense. It's all about money, and I hate money so much because money doesn't change nothing. It doesn't help. It doesn't matter in life. Matter of fact, for a couple weeks now, I've been asking people a weird question, or a lot of y'all, I've been asking this question: what's your perfect day? Describe your perfect day. And the reason I've been asking that is because one day I was thinking about, I was happy, I was doing whatever, and I was like, man, this is like a perfect day. And all that happened was, so my perfect day, and I gotta revise it from what people say, and like, you know what, I gotta include that. But I was thinking my perfect day for real is learn. I like to learn and grow, right? So I want to learn a whole lot in one day and grow, and then teach it to my kids and make, help them and have them to become a better person and see things better in life. And this is, I don't know, it's figuring things out, know what's wrong, know what's right, know what you're supposed to do, know His way. You know what I mean? That's my perfect day. I learn it, and then I get to be honored to teach my kids that. That's me, right? And then so I'm asking, that's weird. I don't think anybody else thinks that's their perfect day. So I'm asking different people, a whole lot of answers, a whole lot of different answers, but a whole lot of the same answers. None of it is really not really money centered. None of it. One person said, I want to be rich. I said, why? He said, because I don't know, because so I don't have to go to work, so I don't have to be somewhere all the time, so I can go to the beach with my daughter. So I'm like, all right, so you don't really want what money can get you, the things you can do with it. You want the things that you don't have to do, that it allows you to not do. You know what I mean? So it's what you don't have to do anymore. It's not get the money so I can get this. It's get the money or whatever. Not really get the money, but it's I want to be able to not have to do that. You know what I mean? So it's not even somewhere. So it's flying somewhere and it's shopping. They didn't say get what. They just go out there in some other country. It's just, being there. It's not really buying something. It's not really having $1 million. No one said I want $1 million. And that's a rack of people. A lot of people, it was just family based. It was A lot of people said there's no such thing as a perfect day. You know, sorry. So what's your ideal day? And they would tell me it's not money related. Someone said their perfect day is every day is perfect, and that makes sense too, because if you think about it, whatever you do today had to happen this way for tomorrow to be tomorrow. So it was perfect today. You know what I mean? If you look, everyone has their own views on everything, on what perfect means to them. You know what I mean? So, but what I learned, the underlying thing was this. So everything that everybody said, man, a lot of it was family. You can have your perfect day anytime. You can have your perfect day today. You can have your perfect day every day, almost. You can have your perfect, especially if you're sad. If you're going through it, you're sad, you're depressed. Take a step back. You know, what's my perfect day? What's my ideal day? What would make me what can I do to describe what I would do on a day to be just perfect? You can actually do that, because I think anyway, unless you really care about money like that. I need $1 million. I need to sleep with $1 million on me. Then that's different. You don't count. But if your perfect day doesn't really matter about money, it's about spending time with your loved ones. It's about learning. It's about growing. It's about teaching. It's about being stress free. It's about going where you want to go. It's about being just peaceful at the beach. It's about just knowing that today is good and tomorrow will be good too. If that's your perfect day, you can have your perfect day every day. Man, and what's crazy is, since money wasn't the center of anything, of nobody's, and most people didn't even mention it. Why is it that in life that's what our center is? A lot of people, that's our goal. That's what we need: a better job, so we can get a better house, so we can provide this for my kids and do that for my. It's money. They do this. Oh, look what they're wearing. Oh, this one costs more. Oh, that's the bootleg. Money. It's like everything is just money, and I hate money so much. Like, why didn't you do that? That's $1,000. Who cares about $1,000? I mean, what's your perfect day? Was $1,000 mentioned your perfect day, or was it something else? So I think that you should, granted we need the money, unfortunately. So you can't get to a point where you're not thinking about what really matters to you. You know, what really matters to you. You can't go days or weeks and not ever think about what really matters to you. You're just trying to get bread, you're trying to get a car, you're trying to get whatever. But what is a car what really matters to you? You know what I mean? Is shoes what really matters to you in life? Like, does that really matter to you? In your perfect day, how many shoes are you going to wear? Probably 1, 3 max, I guess. You ain't wearing all 50. So what are we doing here? You know, that's not your ideal day. You're not wearing all your shoes. So it's like, it's cool to have those things, I think. But when we lose track of what really matters in our hearts, and we're doing things because it's the world's hearts, it's Earth. You know, it's what man always says is this isn't God. We're not living in God's world. He says a lot that we are. This is Satan's world that we're living in. You know what I mean? Which kind of makes sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff going down that's, you know, this is not of God. A lot of things. I mean, I don't know. I'm not anointed, or I don't know. This is like, he made sense. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're not even living in. God, you know, Jesus. He's not the ruler of this world. Don't quote me, but he's not the ruler of this world. Like, obviously, all this sin and evil. Satan is the ruler of this world that we live in. So to have the mindset that we need to get these things that basically Satan wants us to get, not everything is when you don't even know anymore what really matters to you, and you're just dove in on that materialistic thing. I think it's a problem. Just, I guess, be mindful of what you know is important. Do what you know is important. And for me, the biggest thing is, if I know what I'm supposed to be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, am I wise or am I a fool? You know? Am I gonna say, JRL, K-Ron, Rizzo, you guys can be fools too? It's cool. Fool's the new cool. Or am I gonna say, God, you can't handle this. You can't take care of this. Let me be a fool. You know what, God? You're a fool. You thought you could handle this. You can't. Oh, that helped me. So, and another thing I learned too is, like, if it helped me, it helped me. You don't gotta tell nobody, because a lot of times nobody believes you. Like when what was it? that thing they say when Jesus went back in his hometown, and they want him to do this and that, certain things, or they didn't really. I don't know how it goes, but he tried to do he couldn't do his miracles wasn't as strong in his hometown. Again, I ain't the one to listen to about that. You look at it on your own, but he couldn't do what he was supposed to do. So if you're in your hometown and you just got over a big hurdle, a big hump, and you try to tell somebody, ain't nobody gonna believe you, so don't even waste your time. Now, if you did whatever and you go somewhere else and tell them about it, they're actually gonna believe you more than the person that actually knows you, knows the real you. Like, that one of the things that, one I just recently went through, cool, thank God. But another one that's big, a lot of people know about, is the whole gambling thing. When I had quit gambling, and I tell people, they laugh. How you ain't quit gambling? You say it all the time, but I quit. I haven't gambled in like 6 months, 7 months. No, you didn't. You just gambled yesterday. I'm like, man, this is kind of fucked up. Like, kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up. I went over the biggest, hurdle in my life, and y'all just laughing at me like, man, I might as well not even tell nobody this. It's pointless. And not only is it pointless, it kind of, it's discouraging. It almost makes you want to just gamble anyway then, or a bunch of whatever you used to do, or we used to do in life. Fuck it. It didn't matter anyway whether I did it or not. Just keep doing it. But nah, man, it matters, because all that matters, like I said earlier, is what for you. What does he want for you? You know what I mean? It's for you and nobody else. Nobody else have to know too, because that whole they have to understand me thing, or why don't they understand? Sometimes people do, but the moment you see that they don't, man, they don't. Yeah, they just don't. And different perspective, the praying not for what you want at all. Matter of fact, what I told a friend of mine is, you could pray this. Try praying this if you pray. Try saying this to God. Take away all the bad things that of me, right? And build me up again. But you know what? Take all the good things away from me too, because I'm human. I'm flesh. I don't really know what's good for real. What I think is good might not even be good in your eyes. You're perfect. He's the only perfect one. So let him decide what you should be. Don't even contribute in that era, in that field for real. Like, who are we? Like, don't say, I like my heart in this act. I'm gonna give her, keep me that way. Nah, what, you don't give enough? Or I'm a hard worker. What if you ain't working hard enough? What if you're supposed, when your life you're supposed to be something else or something more? Or what if you're not supposed to be a hard worker at all? You're supposed to use your mind because you learned so much when you was working hard. Who cares what you're good at? It doesn't matter what you're good at. So what you're good at might be a bad thing too, in God's eyes. Who knows? Are we gonna tell him what we think is good and bad, or are we gonna let him work in our heart and let him tell us what's good and bad? Let him tell us who we should be in life. Yeah. So, what time is it? Better not be. What else? I just be thinking about, man. I don't know. Nobody to talk to. No one really listens sometimes, and which is cool, because I know that was a big problem that I've been working on, is listening as well. A lot of I'm gonna go ahead and explain myself to maybe the person that's watching is those people that I was interrupting. I'm sorry. So sometimes I got a habit of which is not good. I'm trying to change that. Sometimes people start telling me something, and I know what you're getting at. But I'm not a really detailed. If what you're saying, if it's detailed, like, I'm a detailed person, certain things and again, that's because these certain things are important to me, but not to them. So someone's telling me a whatever story or whatever, right? And they're being really detailed about it. Now, I know the end of the story already. I interrupt them and say, yeah, I say, yeah, this happened, and then this. I interrupt them, they're like, damn, but the process is what mattered to them. It's not just get to the end. How were you during the process? That's way bigger than actually finding out the results. Like, how did you act and react to get through the results? Because it reminds me of my man told me, you gotta fear the fighter that keeps getting up. Don't fear more than the fighter that is undefeated. Fear that fighter that keeps getting up no matter what. That's the fighter you gotta be afraid of. Not the one that's never lost. And it's true, because in boxing, the moment you get knocked down, you're not the same fighter no more. Like, you're not, you losing all the time now. You're not knocking nobody out no more. Like, you're just a whole different person. Versus the fighter that got down, knocked down, you see him get up. Man, he fighting harder. He get knocked down again, he get up fighting harder, better. He's growing. He's stronger. The other person ain't growing no more. The undefeated person. Matter of fact, he's on a decline now. Whereas that fighter who just won't give up, just like in life, you just won't give up, and no matter what, you're gonna just keep going at it. You're growing. Forget that person who never lost, who they got straight A's, they got a good job, they got 100,000 a year. Man, who cares? Because guess what? There's another thing I say a lot. Now they content. How long they had 100,000 a year or whatever job? For years. They're not growing. They're in the same position. I'd rather mess with the person that's making 30,000 a year, but you know they're working hard, and you know they're not set. They know they're worth more, and they're not gonna stop till they get where they're supposed to be at. That's the person I'm trying to mess with, not the person who got a good job, because they're staying there. You already know what you got. There's a ceiling. I'm trying to mess with people that know they ain't got no ceilings. We live outside. We ain't got no roof. We got no ceilings, man. None, zero. Like, that's the people I'm trying to surround myself with. Not with people saying, nah, you know what? You tippy-toeing too high. I mean, you standing up too tall. Duck down a little bit. There's ceiling right there. Man, I hate that when people tell you can't do something. And people tell you, why would people even tell you that you can't do something? For what? What does that do in life? It does nothing at all. It's why ever tell somebody, no, you're wrong, that's too much, you don't gotta do that. What? I heard that so much the past year. Don't do that. Or that's wrong. Or you don't know this. You know what? You're doing way too much. You don't gotta do that. Like, you're doing way too much. You're doing way too little. But I'm not saying that because I don't think that. You're doing what you think you should be doing. But why are you telling me that what I think is right is what I know works and what I believe wholeheartedly, and you're telling me, no, I'm lunching and I'm doing too much. And then go right around next week, yo, let me borrow $1,000. But you know what you're doing, but you're telling me what to do, but you need the money, but you need help. It just doesn't make any sense, man. So it's, I don't even know if there's a moral to this whole thing. I think that knowing that you can't convince nobody, and understand that don't let them convince you. And when God tells you something, that's between you and Him. It's not for us to say, you know what, all right, God told me this, now let's all have the same vision. It doesn't make any sense. We're all one. We're all different. He has His own plan for us. We can't make somebody follow our plan. If they're not following the plan that you think that God sent for you, they're not the ones that's supposed to be with you. If they're constantly trying to change your plan, or they're not supporting you, or they're not supposed to, nothing wrong. And the wrong part is both parties trying to make it work. When it's not their plan, obviously. In anything in life. From small plans to big plans, from graduating, picking what school to go to parent, anything. Like, you can't convince somebody, man. If you really feel conviction that you gotta be or do or go a certain way, and you can't move from that way no matter what nobody tells you, then stop listening to them. You can't keep listening to that, yo. At some point, you're gonna have to. No, you can't keep listening to that, man. Long story short, you can't keep listening to that, man. It doesn't even help nobody to do that. And then what happens too is you start doing that. You start telling them, talking the way they talking. You start being worse than they are. Not that they're bad. It's just, again, we're all different. We think a different way. So in their mind, they're not thinking bad. We think they're like a quote unquote bad person. You shouldn't be thinking that way. So now I'm gonna be even worse. But in their mind, they're not. So now you're really worse. But they weren't at that level. They're looking at two different things. Now I'm this way, but you're that way. It's not the same thing. So now you're the bad guy, because you're trying to match the bad that you think that they are. I hope nobody listen to this shit, but it makes sense to me, man. It's like just understanding that sometimes 1 + 1 is not. Sometimes 1 + 1 is not 2 to some people. You know. Or how about this? What is 1 and 1? If somebody says, what's this is a math question, what's 1 and 1? You might say 2, someone else might say 1 times 1, or someone might say 0, 1, and then, I don't know, whatever. We see things differently. Like, a math problem is different now. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not going to convince nobody otherwise, man. It's just, once you know you can't convince them, man, you can't. Once you know that God told you this way, you can't force his vision on them. Once you know that you're lost, you ask for guidance. You can't pick your guidance. You can't say, God, I want to walk this way. Should I zigzag this way, or should I just walk straight this way? You can't do that. I mean, obviously, you want something different. At a certain age, once you get to a certain age, you want something different. How do you do something different? You're at a certain age, you do what you know. You've done what you did. You're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to change if you're cool with the way your life is. You're cool with the way your life is. But if you're not, you can't even have a picture in your mind of what you want to do. We're old now. You've already tried that. You've already thought that. It's been there, done that. It didn't work. If it would have worked, you would have done it by now. You would have asked God to do that, to do that for you, to think for you, to make the decision for you. You can't tell me. You can't make his decision. I mean, again, I'm talking, if you ain't believe it, then it's not going to apply to you, but you can't make his decision, man. You're just plain and simple. You're not co-God. You're not co-parenting. You're co-God. We're not God. You know what I mean? Now, unless we were sent down from heaven, then that's what we know that way. Okay, but we're not. We're in Satan. So, that's almost home. I'm gonna keep talking to him home too. I'm not listening to this. What else I learned? You gotta. What's a big one? Oh, I can't say that. Man, I wish I could say that. Oh yeah, I can't say that. All right, I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. All right, so you know how when all right, so I can't say it. All right, I gotta say it now. All right, so you know how when couples have kids, right? And they say, now you guys stick together. You know, it's gonna mess them up. You guys split up psychologically, and they're gonna be violent or suicidal or whatever, right? All the negative things, right? And obviously, you want to be a family. So they say all the negative things, which of course makes sense, and that's all we think about, the negative things if we break up. But do we ever stop and which is what I thought about a lot. What people should think about a lot. I don't know if I thought about it a lot. But you gotta think about, all right, so what are the negative things if we stay together then? What's gonna happen to our kids then? What's gonna happen is they're gonna see how a family is not only think that's acceptable. They're gonna think that's the correct way of how a husband and wife or a family is supposed to look. They're gonna think that yelling is they're tolerating it now. You know, the arguing, the disagreements, the terrible communication. That's normal now. So when they find somebody, what do you think they're gonna find? You think they're gonna find the person that they can find good communication with? Probably not, because they don't know what that looks like. They've never seen it. They only know what they see. And what's strong to me is I realized that growing up, whatever I saw, whatever certain way, and then I'm doing that a certain way. So, not knowing that's because that's all I knew. You know, and again, my brother said this might not be the same for them because everyone's different. That's the way I took it, and seeing what I saw, and then all of a sudden, now that I'm older, I'm doing it, not realizing, wow, that's because I'm this way. I'm exactly how they were, because that's all I knew. I didn't know how it was supposed to look. Not that it was bad, you know. Man, heck, it was off to my parents to death, or they made it, work. But you can't live life and arguing for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You can't do that, man. Because it's not just you anymore. Now your kids are gonna be doing that too. You think all of a sudden they just are the angels and they just know what to do? Also, I mean, it can happen, but it's like I say, man. Why put your eggs in that basket? Like, why hope for that to happen? It doesn't make any sense. The chances are really, really low. Like, this is what our kids are seeing. We gotta stop this. they don't know what the facts look like. They don't know when you're on vacation that, what it's like to not have any, disagreement. They don't know what it's like for both parents to just support each other no matter what. They don't know what it's like to, even though somebody doesn't agree, say, you know what, I'm gonna help you out anyway, despite that, and I'm gonna do it anyway. They don't know what it's like when somebody tells somebody something to not even question it, just do it. I don't even care where I'm going I don't even care where I'm driving to Ohio right now. You said go Ohio, and it's important to me. I'm on the way. They don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? If somebody needs you and they love you, that's what you're supposed to do. They're in trouble. I need you to do this. Maybe you're supposed to say, well, did you think about doing this first? Nah, you gotta go. I'm dying. I need you to put a whatever. Take me to the hospital. Oh, you know what? But it might be quicker if you do. Man, you gotta just go, man. And they don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to just truly care for somebody and not help them the way you want to help them, but help them the way they want to be helped, because they're them. That's how they need to be helped. I don't know. Man, I see some lines, man. Who might listen to this? I don't see 0 views on the log. Man, alright, I ain't gotta talk to nobody now, man. I'm good. Good, yo. Good. Ah, shoot. Money left over, so she couldn't keep it child. But ended up Oh, now y'all see people actually watching.